It's coming right up on 5 p.m., coming right up on 5 p.m. This is Saturday, August 1st. Saturday, August 1st. And we have another emergency broadcast. And we'll see what we've got here in the way of audio on the channel. 5 p.m. Sounding good. Audio's sounding good. Stig's in the house. Kyle's in the house. Leslie's in the house. And let's see, Stig is all over the place. And he says, is there anybody here, or did people panic because Craig sold the 005? That could induce panic. Absolutely, that could induce panic. So David Williams sent me an email the other day about handling criticism from people that are properly dressed. Wait. Handling criticism because you are properly dressed and other people are not. I guess that was it. Okay, so he sent me this email to look at. This video, and so I played it, and first of all, the guy giving the tips wasn't even clean shaven, so that was a thumbs down for him, and a little bit trendy on how he was dressed. So, but here's the deal on being properly dressed. It's like a lot of things. It's like handling your finances properly. There are a lot of things that most people get wrong, eating habits, for example. And so the best thing to do is to not take advice from all those people. Just like Dave Ramsey says, the last thing you want to do is take financial advice from your broke brother-in-law, right? So, given the fact that most people out there have no clue how to dress properly, clearly they can't give you advice on how to dress. And on that subject, somebody brought up wearing the shirts that are quick dry, that are these new fabrics that are designed to dry quickly. This is a Nike shirt, and this came from Congressional Country Club. And very comfortable shirt, very nice shirt. And yes, absolutely, you can wear something like this. Wear it with a pair of khakis. Wear it with a pair of Madras shorts, wear it with a pair of linen shorts, even with a pair of jeans. Absolutely, you could wear this shirt with a pair of jeans. So, there you go. Let's see. And Kyle answered the question, where was everybody? He says, we are still here. Triforce Rich is in the house. LOL, I went to a barbecue in a polo and chinos, and people thought I was dressed up. Here, but speaking of dressing up, look at that puppy there. Isn't that something? The 231 stunner alert on the channel. So, let's do a quick time check. We're coming up on a minute and a half after 2.5 minutes after the hour. I can't see properly. So, in the topic of the broadcast today, Bitcoin is pumping. Folks, this is a pump alert on Bitcoin, a pump alert. My computer currently is showing $11,850 on the pump alert on Bitcoin. So we're basically at the point now where one Bitcoin could buy a decent Rolex, a decent new Rolex, and a lot of decent used Rolexes, right? 11,800, that's getting up into used date 8 material. You could probably get an 1803, definitely an 1803, probably an 18238 for that kind of money, a decent one. So what do you think? What would you do? What would you do if you had one Bitcoin? Would you keep that, or would you take that and get a Rolex? What would the plan be? Let's see here. Craig, I need your opinion on a watch. Absolutely. Send a link. Send a link. Let's do it. Let's do it live on the show. Send me a photo or something so we got something to look at. Triforce Rich, speaking of taking risks. Oh, excuse me. Put 8K into Apple a couple of days ago, doing well so far. Rather hold that Apple over a steel Rolex. Yeah, Apple is so high, though. I sold mine a while back. I was sitting at a big profit. I could have had a much bigger profit, trust me, if I didn't sell, but I was at a 35% profit, and I said, man, I just got to take this. And it's just been on a tear. Well, I mean, these big companies are doing really well because their competition has been clear cut by all the shutdowns, by all the government ordered shutdowns, right? All their would-be competition has been wiped out. So now if people want to shop, they pretty much have to shop on Amazon, on Apple. They've only got a few places they can shop. They can go to Walmart, but you can't buy anything decent there, right? All the other malls are pretty much closed. All the nice stores are pretty much closed. I mean, all the competition has been clear cut, right? So there you go. And Triforce Rich, thanks for the push, Craig, to start making moves. Well, there you go. Why not? And Kevin says, hold BTC hands down. Hold the BTC. And Kyle says, you can't ever sell BTC. There you go. All right, let me pull up this Lady Crador watch. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Not terrible. Not terrible. I like the shape of the case. I like the crown. I like the gold bezel. I'm all right with the way that bracelet attaches to the end link, but looks like it has a little more of a gap there than it would need to have. But it's not the end of the world at this price point. Looks like a pretty solid clasp. And looks like hopefully they're pin and collars to adjust it. Looks like that might be what they are on that bracelet. That is not a hateful piece. I think it's I think it's interesting. Buy it now, price is $672. Of course, it's in Japan. Of course, free shipping. Good ratings on the seller. I think it's very interesting. I think a lady would probably enjoy that watch. I think it's interesting. Yeah. Excuse me. Drive Search says, Craig, buy high and sell higher. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. Don't be the loser who always thinks about the past. I bought at 200 and held and will keep buying and holding. I'm not even 30 yet, so I have 3 to 4 7-year cycles. There you go. Well, yeah, I think buying Apple and holding is probably not a bad move. I mean, they're a powerful company. I think you're okay there. I hope you have a significant amount of Bitcoin too, because I think the returns there are going to be a lot higher. But here's the thing, it's riskier, right? So risk versus reward. Not financial advice. Jaden says Amazon, Apple, Google are the new Standard Oil. And Leslie's in the house. She says, Craig, I sent you a picture of a lady's Rolex I'm considering. The seller wants $29.94.30 for it. Am I getting a deal? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. SwissWatchExpo.com. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's a 6-digit watch. I like that. I like that. So they're giving you an even better deal than the advertised price here. Yeah, I love it. I love the dial. They don't show. Oh, yeah, there's the clasp. See, it's got the newer style clasp, the milled clasp that everybody likes because it's a 6-digit unit. I like it. I like it. If you don't get it, I should probably get that for Brianna. Wow. I mean, it can't be that old, so it probably doesn't need to be serviced or anything. What do they say about the condition of it here? About 24 mil. Okay. Fits 6.5-inch wrist. Of course, you know, you'd size it much smaller than that. Time to precision. Okay. Running strong and keeping accurate time. I think it's cool. What, are these people legit? I say don't pass go. I say go for that piece. I like it. I think it's super cool. Now, would I prefer a lady's watch with the Jubilee bracelet with the white gold fluted bezel? Yeah, but you're going to pay a lot more money. A lot more money for one of those, for a 6-digit version of one of those. So yeah, I like that piece. 2 thumbs up. You can get a lot of ladies' watch for the money. It's a buyer's market for the ladies' watches because, see, a lot of ladies are not smart enough to realize that they should buy a used Rolex. They always want new. They always want brand new, right? So they pay the super premium. But Leslie is a smart young lady. She's going to save the money and get something just as nice as new and a stunning 6-digit Rolex. Let's see. Kyle says, the manager, Alex at Beverly Hills GS, reiterated that Crater sits atop all brands under the Seiko umbrella, although he had nothing in stock that I thought was better looking than the 002. Well, here's the thing, Kyle. Understand, it's certain Crater models are at the higher end. The one we just looked at that's for sale, I wouldn't say that's a higher end watch than a typical GS, Grand Seiko. That's like a typical Crater. They have the typical Craters, and then they have the really high end ones that are basically handmade, very limited production, very, very expensive. Don't confuse the two, because you'll find a lot of inexpensive Craters on eBay that are, you know, more run-of-the-mill Craters, if you will. They're not the super high dollar. Not to say they're not decent watches, and a lot of them are going to be quartz, right? But just don't confuse the really high-end Craters with the run-of-the-mill ones. Just a little FYI. Let's see. And Lewis is saying that's a hell of a deal for a Crater. Again, remember, Crater, they're not all equal. Just know that. Okay, Triforce Rich. I really want to see the 002 in person. Maybe have to go to Beverly Hills and check it out. There you go. Or visit the Stevester. Visit the Stevester. He's got one in stock. Problem is, if you visit the Stevester, you might walk out with it on your wrist. That might be how that'll work. Let's see. Rich, go look at it. Just drive over there today. There you go. Then give us a report. Yeah, we definitely want to report an update. You want to see a stunning watch for Bree, the Dubai expat, okay? Sure, send it. Send it on over. Triforce Rich, I have a gathering to go to, Kyle. If you and Leslie want to go on a double date, maybe we can do something later. Our restaurant's open. But just make sure the place is open, you know, when you go. Make sure you don't get there too late to miss out on the 002. Let's see here. Leslie, that's a clean piece. Yes, it did look nice. Fell in the house. Craig, that polo looks cheap. Okay. All right. To each their own. Um, let's see here. Triforce Rich. Okay. I'll look at my fiance's schedule. Might let the girls go off on their own, XD, so we can look at watches. And David says, hi, Craig and all. He's in Vegas. Maybe he could get in the car and get there in time to join you guys. A couple hours drive, right? He gets in a nice high-speed vehicle. Triforce Rich, I can assure you I will not be walking out with it. I cannot afford a 20K watch. Oh, well. Lewis says, Craig is right. All Cradors are good, but the brand underwent a big change and they turned ultra high end. Craig's always right. That's how that works. Kyle's in the house. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't make run-of-the-mill stuff and apply Crater name. In my opinion, that causes confusion. Yes, it could. It absolutely could. But that's why you tune into this channel, so we can clarify and make sure that there is no confusion. You get the straight skinny on this channel. Only on this channel, by the way. You don't get that straight talk, straight information anywhere else. Let's see here. Is that Rolex worth almost 6 times the cost of the Crador, Craig? Well, the Rolex is going to have a screw-down crown. So, you know, that might be a big difference to somebody. But, I mean, that's a judgment call. Obviously, the Crador is a much better buy. I mean, much more watch for the money, if you will. I mean, it's pretty much dirt cheap. But the Rolex is a Rolex, right? So that's where we are. The Rolex is a Rolex. And like for Bree, for example, I really think she's got to have comfort in knowing that the watch is absolutely waterproof. And a Rolex Oyster, I think, is the way to do that. So, let's see. Rolex discontinued 24 millimeter. I tried on the 26 in the store, and it was a little bigger than my liking. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, all the more reason to go for this one. I like the blue dial, too. I really like it, and I like the 369 dial. I just think it's cool. I think it's super cool. And that's a modern 6-digit piece. What's not to like? 5 hours to Vegas usually. Well, he's got to put the pedal to the metal. Put the pedal to the metal. Let's see, Paul's in the house. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all safe and well. Great time to admire a nice watch and check the crypto charts. The two go well together. Let's see. Sent you the watch, Craig. Stop thinking about that boring mini Rolex. Kyle's in the house. We can't find out the thickness of that 24 millimeter Rolex. They're not super thin, the ladies' ones, but they're not super thick either. They look good on wrist. I've had lady friends that have had several different ladies' Rolexes, and they look good on the wrist. It should not be a concern. I think it'd be fine. Speaking of looking good on the wrist, look at this piece. Look at that. How stunning is that? There you go. And he's got that NATO on there, so he doesn't have to worry about if one of those pins comes loose, he isn't going to lose his watch. He's good to go. Stunner alert on the channel. And he's got it at 1800 hours and 4 o'clock. So, interesting. Wonder why he did that. That's pretty interesting. So, 1800. Yeah, 12 plus 4 is 16, so that would be 1600 hours. So he's got it a little bit off sync for some reason. He's probably got some sophisticated reason for doing that. I like it. I like it. Go ahead and rub it in. Rub it in that I don't have the 005 anymore. Oh, let's see if there's any other emails in here to check out. See if I'm missing anything. Oh, here's the watch for Bree. Here's the watch for Bree. Let's pull it up and then I'll show it to you once I get this pulled up. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Accept cookies. No. We are not going to put Bree in a watch with an integral bracelet. That is not going to happen. No integral bracelets for the lovely Bree. We're not going to put her in that trick bag, and then she ends up having a problem with the bracelet, and she's got a bag of hurt on her hands. So that is not going to happen. As a matter of fact, I'm going to close that tab out. I don't even want that tab. I don't even want that tab available here. So, okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. We can't find out. Okay. Too hot to drive to California today. Seriously, normally from house to Santa Monica Pier during the week, 4.5 hours. Kyle's in the house. Gmail is my email, Rich. Okay, Triforce Rich, big issue with small ladies Rolex is that they do look tubby. Yeah, but this is this is a no date. This is going to be a little bit trimmer. But yeah, they do look a little bit like that, but I think it works. I think they're fine. They're a little bit sporty looking and all, but I think it will work. I think the durability and all is probably worth it. But that Crador would definitely be thinner because I believe it's quartz, right? It will definitely be thinner. And of course, probably less expensive over time to maintain and keep on wrist. So there's that little issue too. Well, not that big of an issue, but worth not okay. BuServe needs to call in and give us a review. Leslie, we don't save tabs of ugly watches on this channel. Yeah, I got too many tabs open as it is with good-looking watches. We certainly don't need tabs with ugly watches. For many, many years, I've been with luxury, Craig. Okay. I will educate you with Rolex and cars, etc. Corey in the house. Okay. And leather goods. Don't forget leather goods. And let's see, what else? Oh, camera gear. Don't forget that. Camera gear. All right. We are dragging. The show is dragging a little bit, and it's a little bit warm in here today. It's humid today. It's not that hot, but it's a humid, soupy day. Let's see. Just check out. Make sure I've got all this email all organized. Okay, let's double check. Bitcoin is got a couple red candles there, folks. A couple of red candles. We're at 11,800. I'll tell you, this has been quite a run up here the last several days, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little pullback. Somebody asked me the other day, do you think it'll pull back to 7,000? I don't know about that. I'm not so sure about that. It's, of course, possible. Anything's possible with Bitcoin, but I don't know if I would count on that. Let's see. As well as leather goods and lenses. There you go. Over 40 years experience, Corey. Thanks. See, that's the thing. That's the disadvantage that a lot of these watch gurus have is they don't have the experience that we have on this channel. They just haven't been around long enough. Most of them a bunch of youngsters, right? They just haven't been around long enough. They didn't have Rolex watches back in the day. And so how can they possibly deal with these issues? You know, there's really no substitute for experience, folks. I'll tell you what, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. On a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you think experience is? 1 being not important at all, and 10 being very important. So let us know in the chat how you rate the importance of experience. Anywhere from 1 to 10, 10 being it's very important, 1 being it's not important. Go ahead and vote in the chat. Let's see how important you all think experience is. Let's see. Mike says 13.5 is the next resistant. So says the graph guys technicians. Yeah. I'm not so sure they know what they're talking about, though. There's that. You and Dogman are both 62. Yeah, but he didn't have Rolexes when he was 20 years old. Okay? When did he start buying Rolexes? That's the trick. That's when the experience starts, is when you bought your first Rolex. I bought my first Rolex in 1978. So there you go. Let's see. Craig, why don't you like the integral bracelet watches? Because I had a bad experience with an integral bracelet on my first nice watch. I was probably 12 or 13 years old. My dad came back from Japan and gave me a Seiko Bellamatic. It was really a cool watch. I really loved that watch. But it had an integral bracelet, and the bracelet eventually failed. It gave trouble, and then it was very difficult to do anything with it, because you couldn't just take the bracelet off and put it on a strap or something, right? Because there was an integral bracelet. So I was basically screwed, and I had to mess around with the watch and try to fix it. You know, it was just a cluster, you know what. And so and plus I don't think they look as good. So ever since that, I said, no, I'm not going with the integral bracelet thing. Okay, Mike says it's important. It's a 10. And Fella says it's a 4. Okay. And Kyle says, really important. He rates it an 8. Dubai Expat rates it a 7. Okay. So we're probably up around an average of 8, or close to that at that point, if you average those. Where's Lance? He could do the math on it. I don't see Carlos. Carlos could probably do the math in his head. Okay, so let's see. That's all the votes we got? That's all the votes. So interesting. I wonder what Fella thinks is more important than experience. He's rating it only 4. So I guess he thinks other things are more important than experience. You know what? Here's the deal. With time and experience, he'll probably learn that experience is important. So that's probably how that whole thing will work out. All right, so what do you guys think, okay? What do you think? Bitcoin right now is at 11,821 according to my computer right now live. 11,822. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that it would be a good move right now to get a hold of a Rolex watch for around $12,000 or 1 Bitcoin? 1 Bitcoin. What do you think would be the good move? Do tell. Let us know. Tim says 9. So that brings the average up, right? That probably is going to bring the average up closer to 8. Let's see. 10 plus 4 plus 7 equals 21. Dubai Expat is very good at math. So he's very good at math. So when you bring that 9 into the equation, where do we stand now? All right. So we'd have 30. We'd have 30 divided by 4. Right? And the Dubai Expat says, get the Rolex. He's voting for the Rolex as opposed to the 1 Bitcoin. By the way, you remember that grinder? Remember that that stroker in the chat that gave me a hard time for buying Bitcoin. I think I bought 2.5 Bitcoin at around 10,000. I think it was just below 10,000, right? I bought it live on the channel. Remember that? So I bought 2.5 Bitcoin for $25,000, right? And and then it crashed after that. Remember we had the COVID thing and all that, and it crashed down. And he said, you took your $25,000 and you turned it into like, I don't know, crashed down to like $5,000 or something. You lost like $10,000 or something. I said, no, I didn't sell it. I didn't lose anything. I didn't sell it, right? Now we're sitting at 11.8. So there you go. Turn that 25,000 into what? What's 11.8 times 2.5? Dubai Expat can probably do the math on that. What's 11.8 times 2.5? And then we'll know if that was a good move or not. Let's see. Get the Rolex and enjoy it. At the end of your life, the things you have not experienced will be your biggest disappointment. Mike in the house. Late to join, but hello, everyone. Yeah, but here's the problem, Mike. Here's the whole problem with that situation is at the end of your life, yes, that might be true, but what about the last 20 years of your life, or maybe even the last 30 years of your life? You'll probably be very happy if you saved and invested while you were young. You'll probably be like comfortable and not have to worry about money and being able to get proper medical care and have a nice home to live in and all those kinds of things if you saved and invested when you were young, as opposed to if you just wanted to have a great time all the time and spend all your money, and then you get older and you're broke, and then like it's a struggle for your last 20 to 30 years. You're living off of like Social Security, and it's just like a total train wreck, right? So yeah, I think that's why I think Dave Ramsey's plan is good, where you save and invest 15% of your income, right? I mean, you still have money to live on. You still, can have a good time and all that, but you're taking a certain amount of your income and consistently saving and investing. So that way, later on, you've built up a nice nest egg, you're comfortable, and I think that way you can kind of have the best of both worlds, right? You have reasonable saving and investment. So it of course helps to have a high income. That definitely helps. So Mustang Will says late to join, but hello everyone. Dubai Expat, we're at 7.6. Stig says 10. Buy the BTC Rolex later. There you go. Stig coming in strong. The average is up now. The Dubai Expat hasn't done the math on the 2.5 Bitcoin, though. What's 2.5 Bitcoin worth now, as of today? If that's the value right there of one Bitcoin, 11,816, what's 2.5 Bitcoin worth now? That's the question. So, and as you recall, what triggered that whole thing is I was talking about getting the gold stunner, that piece right there, and it was $25,000 list price. I'm not telling what I paid for it, but list price was $25,000. And somebody said in the chat, they said, well, instead of doing that, you should just buy Bitcoin. You should take $25,000 and buy Bitcoin. And so I took that to heart. And I said, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll buy the watch, and I'll also buy 2.5 Bitcoin, because at the time it was $10,000, right? Right, just under $10,000. So I said I'll buy 2.5 Bitcoin for $25,000, and I will do both. And so that's what we did. We did it live on the channel. Some of you might recall. I purchased it live on the channel. Mustang Will says 23.6. You're not doing the math right, Mustang Will. I don't think that's correct math. So, because just two of them would be 22,000. So yeah, you're not doing the math right. Let's see here. Craig, my school gave me a tuition refund and I threw it all into Bitcoin. I feel great. Whoa. When did you throw it in, young lady? Tell us when you threw it in. Let's see. The YXBAC says 29,516. So there you go. So I turned 25,000 into 29,516. Not bad. Let's see here. My bad. Your response is right. Plus 4516. It's all balanced. Your 20s to 40s are worth more than 50 plus. Really? Okay. Maybe. I think if you take really good care of yourself, I think you can have a good time when you're older. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously a judgment call. It's obviously a judgment call. Leslie says on Monday. Okay, she put it in on Monday. Okay. Good, just before the big run-up. Here's the thing. I mean, obviously, absolutely, you can live for today and forget about tomorrow and just have a great time. And some people might be happy with that, might be happy with when they're 60, 70 years old, they're broke and won't care and will be happy with that whole situation. I don't think that's a good plan. I can tell you from experience right now, sitting here, 62 years old, I would not want to be sitting here and be broke. I don't think that would be a comfortable situation. So, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, but I'll tell you, I don't think you would want to be in that situation. Let's do a poll in the chat. Let's do another poll. How many people would be okay with being my age, 62 years old, and being broke, and maybe even in debt a little bit? In other words, no net worth. Put Y for yes, it would be a good idea to be broke, and put an N for it would be a good idea not to be broke. And let's see how many say it's okay. Now, assuming that if you're broke, that means that you had a better time when you were young. You just spent all your money and you just, you know, it was just party all the time. You lived beyond your means, et cetera, and you just didn't save any money, and you're cool with that. Let me know. Put a Y in the chat. Yes, it would be good to be broke, and put an N if no, it's not a good idea. Okay, Leslie says, Brett and Kyle helped me. They helped you buy Bitcoin? Is that what they helped you do? Good. Good. Now, do you have your own keywords, your passphrase secured somewhere safe? You have your keys? Do tell. Do by expat Craig. I bought property and made 60, I guess he meant 60,000 euro or 600,000 euro. He's got a dot after the 60, so I'm not sure what that means. With it in value increase over 2 years without taking the rent I got into account. Good move. Try first rich. I wouldn't want to put all my eggs into the latter part of my life, but I want to still have millions in reserve. Well, wait, that's not being broke. There's two no. You got to understand. It's a binary thing. You're either broke or you've got a good nest egg. Those are the two choices. There's no in between. Because really there is no in between. Because most people either do one or the other. They either save and invest and do quite well for themselves financially, or they don't. There's usually not a bunch of in between middle ground on that whole thing. That's usually the way it all works out. Let's see, Dubai Expat. I have zero idea about Bitcoin, so I'm not buying that. Okay, there you go. I have a lot of information on my website if you want to research it. You might want to educate yourself a little bit on it. Mustang Will says no, he doesn't want to be broke. Let's see, Triforce Rich says, at your age, if I had debt, I'd shoot myself. I'd want to be financially completely set by 50. Some people do shoot themselves. Some people do. when they're broke. Paul says, no, I'm in my 30s and I'm not okay with debt. No way I'd want that stress hanging over me in my 60s. Good, smart man. Mike says, please read my above statement. Did I miss something here? Okay, agreed. When I was younger, I worked more Saturdays than a rabbi and more Sundays than a priest. I'm now financially secure, 2 homes, money is not a problem. Now I can enjoy. Mike, good move. Good move, Mike. Let's see here. Yeah, I have my words in a secret place. They help me log into my Coinbase. Well, but understand, Leslie, if you've got your Bitcoin on Coinbase, they are taking custody of it. So as long as you can get into Coinbase, correct, you're safe. But they are custodying the Bitcoin, and that's okay for, I say for anything less than $50,000 worth of Bitcoin, you're good to have it on Coinbase. I think that's safe. Some people say you shouldn't leave any Bitcoin on an exchange, but I don't think Coinbase is going anywhere anytime soon. I think Coinbase is fine. So I think you're okay. Now, the other thing you might want to look into, since you're having it custodied anyway, is you might want to open up an account with BlockFi, because they will pay you interest. But I heard Coinbase might be paying interest now too. I heard a rumor about that. I don't know if they are or not. But BlockFi, 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 they pay interest on your Bitcoin. So if you open up an account with them and put your Bitcoin in there, they will pay you interest. Pretty cool. You can grow your Bitcoin. Let's see here. And Leslie says, thank you, David Williams. There you go. Corey Wilson James, after been rich for more than 4 decades, I'm with holdings of more than 46.5 coins with over 10 million in cash. Okay. I heard a rumor you had more coins than that. I think you're being modest. I heard you have significantly more coins than that. Dubai Expat in Germany, you still have a good life even when you're broke. Okay. There you go. Leslie's in the house. Craig, what should I do for my 22nd birthday? My birthday is on August 14. I think you should call into the show live and we should have your birthday party live on the show. I think that's what we should do. And you guys should get a nice spread and get some wine and call in and we can have a party live. That's what I think we should do. You've already got some Bitcoin set away. So, yeah. Let's see. And Dubai Expat, I would just focus on my hobby then and enjoy every day without work. Trashy Larry says, been a while, Chip. Okay. Yeah, that's right. We haven't seen Trashy Larry in the chat for a while. And Lance and Carlos, we haven't seen hide nor hair of them today. Dubai Expat, can we see a pic of Leslie? No, you can't. We can't. No, we can't show a pic of Leslie. You'd get too excited. We can't do that. She's pretty amazing. So, no, I don't think so. Tell you what, I'll show the photo of the group. Let me see if I can find the photo of the group. Oh, speaking of amazing people, there's the lovely Bree eating a slice of pizza. We showed that photo the other day. All right, let me find the picture of Kyle and Leslie and Brett from back in the day. Let me see if I can find it. That was a cool photo, so that photo is worth showing. Here is the original gang. And I got to get this photo to to load in properly. Give me a second. There we go. This flicker is always a pain in the neck. There they are, the original gang when they called in the first time to the show from Venice Beach. There's Leslie and Kyle and Brett, and that was before Brett got the solid gold Datejust. So of course he doesn't have the solid gold Datejust on. He has his Rolex on. But there you go. and Kyle's wearing a Grand Seiko, I believe, in that picture. Okay, let's see. Tougher Switch says, well, there have been weirder things, Craig. Most trolls are miserable, but Chip Wong ended up being worth tens of millions. If he's worth that much, he should be able to at least send 1 Bitcoin to the lovely Brianna, and he hasn't done that yet, so I'm not impressed. I am not impressed. Dubai X-Back says, oh, Lance, Deport TGV says, Lance, never turn your back to Trashy Larry. Well, gosh, no. Dubai X-Back, I want to see her. She has a YouTube channel. I don't know if Leslie has a YouTube channel. That's a good question. I heard a rumor that she was thinking about it, but I don't know if she has a YouTube channel or not. I'm not sure about that, but she should. She absolutely should. Let's see. I'd be trashed already if Lance was here. Reminds me of Matt Stone and Trey Parker, Kyle and Company. And Dupai Expat says, wow. And Kyle says he's laughing out loud. He's rolling all over the floor laughing. Okay, I have another picture of the gang. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me a second here. And I will pull it up. I will try. Okay, here's another picture of the gang when they called in from... Oh, no, I guess they didn't call in this time. Well, yeah, I think they did. I think they called in and they sent the photo both. So there's a photo of them. I forget what location that was, where they called in for an update. And there you go. Beautiful people in California. Beautiful people hanging out in California with no masks. That's good to see. Let's see here. Dubai Expat. Leslie, you want to do some vacation in Dubai? Triforce Rich, if you ever see Chip Wong's wife, you'd realize why he wouldn't send her BTC. 1010 model. He doesn't. That's the beauty of BTC is it can be totally private. He can send a Bitcoin to the lovely Brianna, and his model wife, his trophy wife, never even has to know. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. It can be totally, totally private. Don't you know? And let's see here. That was Santa Barbara. Okay. And Deport TGV, didn't Chip Wong move to Dubai so he could have polygamous relation? Okay. Oh, wow, Leslie is a stunner. Well, duh. I mean, jeez, what do you expect? What do you expect? Any subscribers to this channel are always stunners. We are very selective here. Only multimillionaires and people with fantastic personalities are allowed here on the channel. And Mr. Q's in the house. He says, hi, y'all. Back to the Florida heat. Uh-oh. Only attractive women on this channel. That's right. And financially secure men. Corey Wilson James. I live during a mini flu season around the world, and mask is not a block for flu or virus. I see for many years. Yeah, it's a scam. The whole mask thing is a total scam. Let's see. Okay, Craig, stop putting ideas in his head. He has a huge problem with alcohol and staying loyal to his wife. The last thing we need is him adding Bree to his harem. He can simply send her a Bitcoin. That's not difficult. That's just kindness. That's just kindness. If he's got thousands of Bitcoin, what the heck's he not going to miss one? He might as well send one to Leslie too. See, why doesn't he go ahead and send one to Leslie? Let's get Leslie's address. Let's get her address, her Bitcoin address, and maybe he should send a Bitcoin to each. I think that's a good move. I sent some Bitcoin today to the lovely Bree. So there you go. It's called generosity. Let's see. Dubai expat Craig, shall we meet in Texas when I pick up my new watch? When are you going to Texas? The dude has serious issues, and Bu Serve and I are trying to keep him sane. Chip Wong is the Keith Moon of Bitcoin. Let's see. And Kyle says Mr. Q is back. Absolutely. All right. Well, we're getting close to wrap-up time, folks. So get any last-minute emails in to me and any last-minute photos. Craig is sounding like a socialist. No. There's a big difference between a person voluntarily sending another person money and the government taking one person's money and then giving it to somebody else. That's socialism. That's redistribution of wealth by the government, right? If an individual wants to send something to another individual, that's called freedom. That's called freedom. And see that second hand? That's free. That's freedom. Look at that second hand just smoothly moving around. That's what you call freedom. If all of a sudden that thing started getting jerky and started stopping and started getting pushed back the other way, that would be what you would call socialism. Okay, that's the difference between the two, just so we know. Okay. Lots of Grand Seiko and Prospect LX to catch on. Had no signal in the Smoky Mountains. Failed to report from there. Excuse me. Okay. We'll be there in September in Houston. Okay. I'll probably be in North Carolina in September. My dad's birthday's in September, so I might be going down there. Triforce Rich, the port has sent Triforce Rich at the port has he sent you any BTC? All he does is send me snaps of his wealth and sexual antics. Okay. Flights get moved all the time. Okay, so no exact date fixed yet, but we'll be there for a few days. Why aren't you visiting Steve at Little Treasury? That would be a smarter move. I say go to Maryland. Maryland in September is beautiful. Beautiful month to be in Maryland. A little bit hot to be down south. Just saying. Let's see. Derek says we can't wrap Craig. Okay. Sadly, had no. Okay. Craig is the total opposite of a socialist. He loves personal wealth. There you go. We never talked on Rolex day dates. We showed some Rolexes earlier, but we didn't talk about day dates. But I think there's a day date in the thumbnail of this. Yeah, we did. I did mention day dates earlier. I did. I mentioned that you could, for the price of one Bitcoin, you could certainly get an 1803 day date, and you could probably get an 18238. I said that specifically earlier. So yes, I did mention day dates earlier. Megan's in the house. Score. I got here before the end this time. Oh my goodness. We got 6 minutes left or something, and Megan's in the house. Megan, okay, let's ask Megan. She's very smart. Let's ask Megan. One of the questions we asked earlier in the show is, and let me show you the price of Bitcoin right now. Let me find it here. Okay. All right. Bitcoin is 11 776, $11,700 . Okay. Okay. So the question was, which would you rather have? One Bitcoin, or a nice Rolex watch? A nice Rolex watch. What do you think? Which would you rather have? One Bitcoin or a Rolex watch? That was the question of the day. So there you go. Let's see. Craig, you have such a broad audience. Incredible. Trumpzilla can delay the election if the insanity continues. Don't test him. Uh-oh. Dubai Expac says, from 22-year-old girls to old rich dudes. There you go. That's diversity. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Megan says, what? Megan, has Chip Wong ever sent you Bitcoin? And Megan says, I take the coin, Craig. There you go. She's nobody's dummy. She's nobody's dummy. What are your thoughts on U.S. elections? If you're asking me, I think it really doesn't matter that much because I don't think the president really runs anything anymore. I think it's the powers behind the scene that are pulling all the strings, and I think that the president is really just a figurehead. That's the way I see it. Government keeps growing and spending money and doing all the stupid things they do, regardless of which party is in power. Right? Doesn't seem to make much difference. That's the way I see it. Let's see. Craig just sent an email of the 005 clasp, and I feel like they could have implemented micro adjustments if they had made the clasp a little longer, but I admit that it does look clean the way it is. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. I have a partial coin, and my brother helped me buy last year. Okay. Half BTC plus Rolex. Okay. I blocked Chip Wong a long time ago. I unblock him when he gets sober. People make fun of me for my watch choices, though. I like Swiss Army. Yeah, well, I think that's a good piece. I like the Swiss Army watches. I had I have the one still, the Winger one, but I also had a Victorinox. All right, let's take a look at this dial. All right, he sent this before. We looked at this before, the dial. Okay. It looks black in some light. In some light it looks blue. That we know. And let's see here. Let's look here. Here is the clasp. Yeah, what you need to do with this watch, with the 005, since there are not micro adjustments, is just don't size it on the tight side. Give yourself a little bit of breathing room so that when your wrist does expand, you got enough room for it. But yeah, they could easily add micro adjustments. They just, for some reason, don't seem to think that it's important. I don't know. We're hitting them with the message as hard as we can, and they don't seem to react to it. Let's see. You're probably right. I'm too nice. I would just feel bad if the alcoholism kills him. I've asked Craig to help him, but he doesn't seem to care. Now, people that choose to drink their life away, I mean, there's not really that much you can do, really. It's just like people that get addicted to opioids and, end up on heroin and all that stuff. I mean, it's very difficult to help them out. They've made that decision, they've gone that route, and it's just very, very difficult. They really have to make a big life change, and a lot of them don't, is the issue. Let's see. That's depressing, though. If you can get the autumn, okay. Okay, it is. Okay, good. Okay, all right. So they're talking about some watches. I'm going to wrap this puppy up. We're coming up on the hour, and I'm not going to show the lovely Brianna's website because she didn't come in the chat today. But I will show this watch again that the lovely Leslie sent in. I do think that's a keeper. I think that's a good one. And let me close that tab. And then here's the Crador, which I think is also very interesting. And here's a watch we looked at the other day. Look how much more expensive that is. And it's a 28 mil, so that's too big. And then there's a stunning gold ladies president, they call it. But I think that's really a lady date, a date just with the president bracelet. But anyway, they use that term president. But yeah, so there you go. Okay, folks, click subscribe and click the bell to make sure that you get notifications. And I drink my life away daily, Trashy Larry. Tim says the new GS GMT strap does have micro adjustments, so have they heard you? The new GS GMT. Some of the GS GMTs did have micro adjustments before. Some of the sport watches that are in the sport watch category, not really the dress watch category, had micro adjustments before. So that may or may not be a new thing. We will see. If they start putting them on all their watches, then we'll know that they've heard us. But some of their watches already had it. So, all right. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you guys next time.